just a sleeping girl, and everything that was done to her while she couldn't wake up. Only horror, betrayal, and a tragedy far darker than anyone expected. Today, we strip away the glittering surface and dive into the hidden darkness behind Sleeping Beauty. First, let's remember the version most of us know, the Disney one. Bright colors, romantic music, and even a dragon fight thrown in for good measure. But even Disney's version was based on something older. In 1697, French author Charles Perrault published The Sleeping Beauty in the Wood. And even that wasn't the beginning, because the real origin is much older and much, much darker. The first true version of Sleeping Beauty appeared in the 14th century Italy in Giambattista Basile's Pentamerone. The title, Sun, Moon, and Talia. Sounds magical and beautiful, right? It's not. In Basile's version, the Princess Talia doesn't prick her finger on a spindle. Instead, a splinter of flax, yes, the plant used to make linen, gets lodged under her fingernail. Back then, flax wasn't processed like it is today. It was rough, stiff, and as sharp as needles. While handling it, Talia gets pricked, and everyone believes she's dead. The king, stricken with grief, locks her body inside a remote palace and leaves. Years pass. One day a different king is out hunting and stumbles across the palace. Inside, he finds the sleeping Talia. Instead of praying or seeking help, he commits a terrible act against her, taking advantage of her silence and helplessness. There's no true love's kiss, no romance, no consent. Talia, still unconscious, gives birth to twins, Sun and Moon. Later, while the babies are suckling, one of them accidentally draws out the splinter of flax from her finger. At that moment, Talia wakes up. She thinks she's just fainted, only to find two newborns lying beside her. Imagine waking up to that nightmare. Soon after, the king returns when he hears that Talia has awakened. But there's a problem. The king was already married, and it doesn't take long for the queen to find out. Blinded by rage, the queen plots her revenge. First, she orders the royal chef, kill the twins, cook them, and serve them to the king. Yeah, medieval fairy tales went really dark. Fortunately, the chef couldn't go through with it. Instead, he hides the babies and serves the queen lamb instead. But the queen wasn't done. Next, she invites Talia to the castle, pretending to welcome her. "I've prepared a bath for you," she says sweetly. But it wasn't a bath. It was a pit of roaring fire. The queen orders her servants, "Throw her into the flames." Just as the plan is about to be carried out, the king returns to the palace. He realizes what's happening immediately and orders the queen to be arrested. She confesses everything and is sentenced to execution by beheading. Talia survives, reunites with her twins, and eventually marries the king. And they lived happily ever after. At least in the story. For centuries, this tale has been polished into a dream about love and destiny. But behind the fairy tale, there's something much darker. Helplessness, betrayal, and the shadows of human greed. The real story of Sleeping Beauty is far deeper and far more terrifying than the one we grew up with. In medieval and early modern Europe, obedience and silence were seen as the highest virtues for women. A quiet woman who never questioned her fate, that was the ideal. Marriage and bloodlines mattered more than consent. Stories like this weren't meant to inspire love. They were crafted to teach fear, promote submission, and preserve social order. So perhaps Sleeping Beauty wasn't just a tale of destiny, but a beautifully wrapped lesson meant to keep people in line. At least, that's one way I see it. Once upon a minute, in the next tale, a beast cursed by fate, a girl who saw the truth, and a love story darker than you ever imagined. The untold story of Beauty and the Beast. Subscribe and turn on notifications.